This is the Radiotone archtop, which is 1936, with a solid spruce top, and a really quite beautiful maple back and sides as well. It's coming up on 90 to 100 years old, so obviously it's in remarkable condition, all things considered. The Radiotones were made in Czechoslovakia and were basically used in a very similar way to sort of the Gibson L5, L7 guitars. The design's very similar, and essentially it was used for the same purpose. There wasn't a lot of American guitars floating around Europe in the mid-30s, so this is the equivalent. It really is quite a stunning guitar when you see it up close. Obviously, as you'd expect with a guitar of this age, it's seen some use, had a little bit of wear and tear on it, but the playability is absolutely exceptional. It's not uncommon to find archtops with sort of ridiculously high actions, because none of these have got truss rods in them. They're all an old school, carpentry joint as opposed to anything modern. But this thing, the neck is pretty much spot on. The fretwork is a little bit worn in places, as is the fretboard, but there's no buzzing to speak of. Nothing more than a few little rumbles and things which you might expect from from anything really, let alone the guitar's almost 100 years old. But as I say, there's no choking or anything else like that. Obviously, there's your headstock there. I believe the inlays are mother of pearl, but it's quite tricky to see. And they're like that. It's the original machine heads, and the engraving on them is quite something. Yeah, what I was saying about fretwork. Now you can probably see a little bit better in the pictures, but the fretboard here is a little bit worn in places, and the first 5 frets have got some fairly heavy fretwear on them, but like I say, there's no real buzzing or anything to speak of. So, in terms of sound, it's currently got phosphor strings on, which is absolutely fine, as would be any sort of flat wound string as well. Obviously, if you're using this as a pure jazz model, you'd probably put some flat wounds on there for a much sort of mellower tone. In terms of sort of low end, so if you were just using it as a standard guitar, it'd be absolutely fine. In terms of anything else, higher up, despite its age, the playability is absolutely excellent. So, that's the Radiotone. If you have any questions or anything, just send them along.